Hello BookTube, welcome back to my channel Under the Radar Books. I'm Brittany. Today I'm going to be doing my December wrap-up. And the first book that I have, I had started in my last wrap-up, and it is The Sweetness at the Bottom of the Pie by Alan Bradley. This is the first in a mystery series, the Flavia DeLuce series, and Flavia is our protagonist. She is an 11-year-old girl who's very smart, doesn't quite get along with her sisters, and gets wrapped up in a mystery involving her father, his past, and this is a great mystery. I hadn't read a mystery in a really long time. This was super cozy and feel good, and Flavia as a protagonist is wonderful. She's my hero. I love her. And I gave this 3 stars. Next up, I read You Don't Have to Like Me, Essays on Growing Up, Speaking Out, and Finding Feminism by Alida Nugent. I haven't read a lot of feminist books, but I really want to do so in the near future. This one was really great, and it had so many different essays, things involving growing up, dealing with parents, friends. It touched on many different things, and I think it's really important and is really relatable. I think that this is a great book for women of all ages to read. It's a really good place to start, I think, with feminism. It's very short and very accessible, so I believe I gave this one 4 out of 5 stars. Next up, I read Gold Fame Citrus by Vaye Watkins, and I'm not going to talk about this too much because I did do a separate review of this and I will link it in the down bar. I didn't like this as much as I had hoped that I would. I still enjoyed it. I still am thinking about it, so I almost feel like it's growing on me as time has gone by because it has stuck with me a lot more than I thought that it would. I gave it a 2.5 star rating out of 5, but that possibly might change. There are some fellow booktubers that are going to be reading it this month, and I'm very excited to chat with them about it and get their take on it. So if you want to know more, please check out my review. Next up, I read Transformations by Sexton. This is a poetry collection that involves retelling of fairy tales. This was wonderful. I haven't read too much poetry in the past, but I'm trying to read more in the new year. This has really beautiful illustrations throughout that are similar to this in like pencil line drawing. The poetry is very interesting because it has an overall fairy tale tone to it. It kind of sounds Old English, and then intermixed are modern references. So even though this was written in the 60s or the 70s, I guess modern for that time, there's references, and so it's very interesting. I would definitely reread it, and it's very short, so if you're interested in trying out some poetry, this is probably a good place to start, and it is very entertaining, so I would highly recommend it. I gave it 4 stars. Next up, I read a graphic novel. It is Lazarus, Volume 1 by Rucka Arcus, and this is really good. I gave this 3 stars. I enjoyed it. It wasn't my favorite, but I did enjoy it. It is about an alternate world where families are in charge, or almost like a mafia mentality, and each family has something called the Lazarus, which is a genetically modified human being that is basically like their bodyguard, does all their dirty work and protects them. And this main character that we follow is the Lazarus for her family, and I believe that the following volumes deal with the Lazarus members of the family joining together and going against the families that have been abusing them. So I'm excited to read the rest of the series. I will continue. Next up, I read Locke Key, Welcome to Lovecraft. This is Volume 1 in the Locke Key graphic novel by Joe Hill, and I loved this so much. I gave this 5 stars. This is up there with my favorite graphic novels that I have read. It is a dark and scary graphic novel about a family who moves into an old house and creepy things follow. I don't want to give too much away because I went into it quite blind and really enjoyed that. So if you like horror and you like graphic novels, why haven't you read this? Next up, I read last night's reading, Illustrated Encounters with Extraordinary Authors by Kate Gavino. And I just found this randomly at my library when I was there last time, and I really wanted to pick it up. It's a really quick read. I actually want to own this and have it on my shelves because it is going to be really fun just to revisit it. It is about Kate going to different authors' readings in New York City, and she writes down and illustrates what the author looks like and then the most memorable quote that she got from that night. So this is what it looks like on the inside. And there are so many wonderful quotes in here, and we all know I love books about books and books about authors, so this was just right up my street, and like I said, I can't wait to own this myself. and also give it as gifts for some of my bookish loved ones. There's also little funny drawings intermixed in between the different quotes, and the quotes involve things like hope, love, diversity, things like that. They're really great, and I just can't recommend this enough. The last book that I finished in the month of December was the first in his Dark Materials, Northern Lights, and I really enjoyed this. For some reason, it took me a while to finish it. I really enjoyed it while I was reading it, but once I had put it down, it was very difficult for me to pick it back up again. I'm not exactly sure why that is, but the ending was great for me, and I'm really excited to continue on with the series. I have started the second book, The Subtle Knife, on audiobook, and I am quite enjoying it. The audiobooks are fantastic. They are read by a full cast of characters, and they are just so interesting, and I am enjoying it so very much. So I will be continuing with the series. This is about Lyra, who lives in an alternate world where every human has something called a demon. It is a animal companion, and it is like their best friend, and they've been compared to the soul of the human being. When they're children, they can change shapes, so they change between a variety of animals, and then as they get older and the child has a certain personality, the demon will take a certain form and stay in that form. And Lyra gets wrapped up in this plot that involves other realities and a dangerous group of people who are trying to hurt the demons. And it is very good. I've never read it before. I know lots of people read it as a child, and I think I would have loved it then as well. But it's great because as a children's novel, it's very entertaining and it's a quick read for children, but there's so much to it as an adult that you wouldn't pick up on as a child. It deals a lot with religion and relationships between a variety of people, including parents and their children. It's just very fascinating, and I can't wait to continue. So this is highly recommended. There are 2 books that I'm reading currently along with listening to The Subtle Knife, and those 2 are Spook by Mary Roach, and this is how far I am. And I'm also reading Bone Gap by Laura Ruby. I'm buddy reading this with Joss over at Squibbles Reads. Go check out her channel. She's hilarious and amazing, and I adore her. And I'm really enjoying this. It is a magical realism YA book. I will definitely update you guys on both of these as I finish them. Please let me know what you guys read in December, and if any of these sound interesting to you. If you have read them or if you want to pick them up, I would love to know. So please go ahead and leave me some comments down below, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful week. Happy reading!